Why are you so mad today?
I'm not mad.
This is episode 94. You should be happy. Okay?
Welcome to the Ultimate Deck Podcast. Ultimate Deck Podcast. Helping you keep your finger firmly pressed on the decking industry, the people in it, and the information you need to master the backyard. And now, host of the Ultimate Deck Podcast, Shane Chapman.
I could hear your mic drag across the table.
He
when
does
you
it
did that.
every time.
Every frickin' time.
Why don't you put the mic in the right spot then?
It's your mic.
He was sitting here for like 10 minutes.
You put it in the right spot before we get going. It's like all of a sudden the music starts, you're like, oh yeah, right, I want the mic here.
Well,
Hey everybody,
Delta.
it's Shane Chapman and Wade Laurent and Bryce Walaniuk.
I like this.
Walaniuk. Here today, episode 94.
It's good to have everybody back now. I don't have to carry this thing by myself anymore.
Yeah,
Whoa.
geez.
What an exhausting job that was.
I
I had to come up with the idea. Then I had to write the list.
and it showed.
And
Like,
it's probably going to be the biggest. It'll likely be the most listened to one. Scott and Steel Framing has got no shot on hashtag WWWD.
I think nobody's actually got a shot against Cascades episode. Leif Wertinen is still crushing at number one episode by far. It's not even close.
Okay.
So you're up against it on that.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Okay.
Bryce did go a little bit extra mile to promote your episode for you. You made a sweet little Instagram story.
That was a really good
intro
story.
thing. It was like,
Yeah.
dun dun. It was like so epic feeling.
Because the whole thing was only question based. So
And yep,
But we got the most questions we've ever got.
Mike Shaheen's on Instagram live like everybody should be. And yeah, that one's yours right there. And that if you drink water, but I don't think you do. So that one then.
But you could put beer in it.
You can put whatever you want in it. It'll just keep things cold and
Or too hot.
anyways. Yeah. So what people are probably noticing on Instagram right away, the people that tune in from like often, new studio. They're probably sitting there and be like, what looks so different? Well, we rotated things.
We rotated everything.
You're now you're viewing the west wall instead of the south wall. And that's a big deal. Mm-hmm. You probably feel that.
It used to be white.
This wall?
That wall.
Yeah.
What's with see in the top corner of the Instagram feed?
Yeah.
Is white
It
there?
says live. Yeah, this corner right here.
Why is it like that?
Because that wall right there is only 6 feet tall and the camera's pointed 2.5 feet taller than that.
Yeah. Note to self.
Yeah. Okay. So before we got on the air, we were talking about bugs because we all have drinks here. And I don't know how this came up, but we were sipping away and you said this past weekend you were out with a buddy and he took a sip of his, what was it, a beer? Pop?
Beer.
And
Strongbow, so good. No wonder there was a wasp in it.
two wasps had moved their way into, that makes sense. They don't really go after beer too often, but Strongbow would that be sweet.
100%.
Right? So the wasps get in there, takes a swig, both wasps go in there, give him the old FU, bam, bam, 2 stings, out he goes, face swells up, camping trip's over.
Yeah. He couldn't even enjoy supper.
Right? Like you couldn't even eat at that point. How long did it take for the swelling to go down?
Dinner.
3 hours.
Dinner. Is it still dinner if you're camping?
Yeah, well, you have to
Did you plan it?
You have to plan it. The ribs were on the barbecue all
That's
day.
dinner.
Okay.
You have ribs, dinner.
Yeah.
Peanut butter sandwich and a bowl of cereal, not dinner.
Unless you planned to have
Unless
them.
you planned it.
Unless you planned it.
You're all about the planning.
Did you go get the cereal special for dinner time?
So we were talking about the fear of this, and then I was saying, like I always check my drinks because I've heard of people this happening, and I don't want to experience getting stung in the mouth. I think that sounds terrible. But while I was on my holidays last week, we stopped at one of those little touristy convenience stores in the middle of the park, and they of course had the seasoned bugs that you can, but like I don't know if they're dehydrated or what they are. They're crunchy.
Usually covered in chocolate.
Smoked and roasted.
They weren't covered in chocolate. They were just like salt and vinegar flavor or whatever.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Check
Crickets
mark.
and like worms.
Don't you
of
have a
some sort.
gecko? Had?
Yeah.
Still got it?
The kid has it. Yeah, he's still there.
You should have brought him salt and vinegar cricket.
Should have. Yeah, I don't know if you'd like that.
That would have messed his day up.
Yeah.
But anyways, I tried these, and my 3-year-old was all about it. He's like, "Yep, give me some." Bam, eats them, no big deal.
He probably been eating bugs for a year. that you
Could have been.
didn't
He
know
loves
about?
live ones. He grabs them. He has no problem. He's like, there's no like squeamish things with that kid. He's just
Because
like,
they're delicious.
cricket in my hand. So we had to have that conversation. And it's like, it's okay to eat these ones, but don't eat the ones that you're catching in the front yard. Don't do that.
Yeah. Oh,
Anyways,
okay. No,
crickets, pretty good.
Yeah.
Not bad. Have you had them?
I have had them. They're
Like
really
just like that? Like the, like, I thought they
As a
tasted kind of like
snack.
sunflower seeds a little
Yeah.
bit. Like that was the crickety taste was like a sunflower seed.
That was the salt.
No, like in addition to that, it had the nutty flavor.
Oh.
Like a nutty flavor.
It's very
Like
nutty.
how kangaroo tastes like chicken.
Nope, kangaroo doesn't taste like chicken, but the frog legs did. This is gonna be a great episode. This episode's all about what did Shane eat last week.
What did Shane eat on the road?
So, anyways, the meal,
Oh,
the
yeah.
worms, not they were just okay. They were
Speaking
not-
of on the road, did you start off the trip with the proper balance of sweet and salty road snacks?
no, I
traveled with
don't
your
think
wife.
I did.
There's a balance.
Yes. It's a 1-to-1 balance.
If you want to eat snacks the whole 8-hour trip, you have to go back and forth. You have to go sweet, then salty, and then.
Oh, okay.
How do you not know this? Everybody knows this.
Especially if you're from Saskatchewan, because you have to drive for so long to get anywhere.
It's true.
It takes like 2 hours to get to the hospital.
You can at least do a 5-pound bag of sunflower seeds.
Or
On any
you
trip.
have like, or it's like a certain amount of beer.
Yeah.
That's a 6-beer trip.
That's a Calgary. That's a full 6-pack of
It
Calgary.
was a 0 beer trip for me. I had the whole family in the truck. We were packed to the nuts. There was no beers had on this trip.
Okay.
Plenty of pops and coffees. Anyway, yeah. So I went to the restaurant with the Grizzly House. Are you guys gonna go there?
Nope.
Okay. So I went to
Where's that? In
Grizzly House
Banff.
in Banff.
Yeah, so I'm not like we're not going to Banff. That's where tourists go.
Correct.
Anyways, we're gonna do Canmore. We won't do Banff.
You in yourself are a tourist, so anywhere
wait.
that you're going to go is where tourists go.
We have when we were there, because this is gonna air way after I actually
Oh, we're gonna try this again.
right.
I don't. Yeah.
Shoot, we've recorded it at the wrong time. I only went to. So, anyways, I am a tourist, but I don't think that I'll go to Banff. We've been to Banff a couple of times. We're just going to be in Canmore.
You just have to stop there for supper.
So when we do the trips, the holidays, I prefer to go to the places that are less populated. So for instance, we would travel to Waterton and we would stay in Waterton. It has all the amenities. It's like just quite a bit smaller and less traveled.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I like Canmore as well. Canmore is nice because it's close. It has all the same things. It has like restaurants and places to stay and golf courses. It's just not as busy.
It's not Banff.
It's not bad.
Which is okay. They still have elk and deer and stuff in Canmore.
Yeah.
A couple of unicorns.
But no kangaroos,
No kangaroos.
no yaks,
That's okay.
and no sturgeon. That was what was on the menu that night.
When I
Sturgeon.
go to
Sturgeon.
Australia,
The
I-
oldest fish.
The oldest fish.
it's a dinosaur.
It's pretty damn close.
No, I think there really is. I believe that they haven't changed. They're dinosaurs.
Okay. Well, I ate a
That's
dinosaur
why I
then.
want to go fishing for sturgeon so I can be like, I caught a dinosaur.
I had to show my family pictures. They're like, "What's sturgeon?" I was like, "It's like a big prehistoric fish. It's like a monster fish. They call it like the monster of the river, or whatever." And
Yeah.
and my family's like, "No way!" And so I looked it up, and it's like it's pretty prehistoric looking. I was like, "This
Yeah.
is it." They're like,
Yeah.
"Really?" My 13-year-old was like, "Really? That's what?" Yeah.
We gotta go fishing. I
So,
should take Carter fishing.
It's not a fish texture whatsoever. That stuff. It's like I described it
It's
as
like
like pork.
calamari.
It was like porky.
Oh.
Like no, but like more meaty, like more mammal meat.
I wonder
than-
how you're allowed to eat that actually, because they're like you're not allowed to keep them. Sturgeon, like that would be a farmed sturgeon.
Yeah, it'd be farmed. It wouldn't be wild caught.
You're not allowed to catch those
Most
and keep
likely,
them.
yeah. Yeah. So they didn't keep it. They just gave it to me and I ate it.
Yeah.
Good luck finding the evidence now. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
I can hear that. It's as bad as me dragging my phone. My
It's horrible.
yeah, the
You guys should stop doing that. Which button is the thing?
blue one.
Okay. Just so you know, Mom, I'm working on something very, very big. Very important. You're going to be very proud. It's the Worldly News. The greatest segment of all time in podcast history, the Worldly News.
Especially better than Simcoe News.
It's the only one that's actually prepared anymore.
We could maybe get back to Simcoe because the media might be tired out of the COVID stories out of Simcoe by now. Maybe. I don't know if that's true, but maybe
We'll
someday.
see if Simcoe can beat this story.
Simcoe should be in the Worldly News. They should try harder and they could get in
Yeah.
via this.
Yeah.
So
overweight Chinese man's big belly saves him from falling down a well.
Sweet.
Was it the same well that was in the basement of that other guy's house?
I wish.
Yeah. So what? His like legs went in, but the belly stopped him from sinking in there.
Yeah, so he was jumping on an abandoned well, like covered up.
Come on.
Oh, okay. So here's the thing.
He's a moron.
It's too
should
bad he
fall in.
didn't fall in there.
Right. Exactly.
Darwinism should take care of that stuff.
Yeah. But it didn't. He got stuck.
So did people? The fire department have to come get him out?
Yeah, the fire department came and got him out. He was 28 years old. And
Boy, that's pretty young to be letting yourself go. Hey.
well, and he weighed about
Like
Maybe
your
he's al-
metabolism's still
Maybe
pretty
he's
high.
already married.
Holy,
Oh,
that's possible.
Ba-da-bang.
the fire service estimated his weight at 500 pounds.
Holy smokes!
But the newspaper said he was closer to 300 pounds.
How are you that off? And who's more right?
He's a big dude.
I would expect that to be reversed. I would expect the media to sensationalize that.
No,
1,000
the
pounds.
media doesn't sensationalize anything, do they?
No, never.
So somewhere between 300, which is like, okay, I can see that, and 500, which is like, that's a pretty obnoxiously large man.
Yeah.
At 28 years old.
That's it. Next time I have seconds, I'm going to be like, it's a defense mechanism, babe.
Yeah, so I don't fall down wells.
I gotta do this.
I don't
Like,
think you get there with only seconds. I think you
might
gotta,
save me.
it's going to take a few trips to the buffet. So what do
Come
we got?
on, Bryce.
Sorry.
Jeez.
I didn't even. Okay. The Netherlands has apparently a wild urination problem. And so they put out hemp-filled public urinals just around town in the most peed-on spots.
Like the people are peeing everywhere?
Yeah, they
And-
call it wild peeing.
So the hemp-filled urinals are for what?
So you don't pee on a building.
But you're allowed to pee in the urinal
Yeah.
Why are they hemp-filled?
so they don't smell.
Yeah, so they don't smell.
Or maybe the hemp really uses the ammonia to grow. I see how that picture looks. It looks like the pee feeds the hemp.
What? Are you going to smoke piss weed? Like,
I don't think that'd be the worst thing I smoked.
Apparently it's working. A 75% reduction in wild peeing.
They should do that in
sorry,
Public
Paris.
where is
urination.
this? In the Netherlands.
They should do that in Paris and New York.
Yeah. I think it would work.
Yep.
It's a good idea.
Okay. I don't know what the hemp has to do with it. Couldn't they just put urinal, like public washrooms? Is that the real issue here? Like they could have just put pissers anywhere?
Then
you know what I
you
saw
could
actually?
pay for them. Then you could be
But
like
they're outdoor. They look like a planter.
10
There was
cents.
a competition I saw that happened somewhere, and I don't know where. It was in Europe somewhere, and they were supposed to come up with bathrooms that were more inviting and less dirty feeling to people, public washrooms, so that people would want to use them more. Maybe
Right.
this is related to that. And this one company or guy, whatever, invented clear walled bathrooms. So the
Oh, yeah.
bathrooms were
Yeah.
glass.
Yeah.
So you could see inside and see that they were clean and see that they weren't dark and dingy and whatever else. But when you went in, the glass like changes to like a translucent, like a frosted kind of thing, like automatically somehow changes so that you are no longer like you're not
Yeah.
till that
took my
malfunctions in
story.
the middle of a deuce. Really? That was your next one?
I had another one like that. Yeah.
So that's that glass is magnetic, right?
yeah.
And it's got like little bits of it has a little fleck of metal in it.
Okay.
And when the door closes, it completes the circuit and then tunk.
But the doors are always closed.
Yeah, something else is triggering it. Must be like a motion
I
sensor
think it's just
or
a motion
something.
sensor.
Because
Wouldn't that suck? What if it like went off?
What if you like
you're
were
gonna
stream.
pooping?
I'm in there pooping like this. Having a big old deuce here. Don't want to be too still in that.
Okay, my last story. Do you guys drink Bud Light?
Nope.
No. Well,
If it's put in front of me.
man uses Bud Light to keep wildfire flames away from his California home.
Yeah, that's
Saves
exactly.
his house.
That's like that is the argument I've been making for years. Bud Light is just like water.
How would you have enough Bud Light to stop a wildfire?
He had 30.
Talk about media
36
sensationalized stories.
He had 30 packs of Bud Light.
Yeah, but choppers full of like 1,000-gallon lifts don't put out.
Yeah, but
for
the choppers weren't coming to save that guy's house.
Yeah.
30. Okay, so what? He like cracked beers and poured them.
Yeah, what he did is he took a nail and he slammed a nail in and then
Come
threw
on.
it into the garage, which was on fire.
There's no way that this worked, and it worked.
And it worked. It kept his house safe.
Yep.
His garage burnt down.
30
his house was
packs is
safe.
not even that much.
Bud Light, water.
30.
Okay.
That's 350 milliliters. That's a lot of liquid,
Yeah,
isn't it?
no. It's like 10 liters per thing. It's like 300 liters of beer. Anyway, whatever.
Okay.
I'm talking with that guy.
I don't drink Bud Light. You know what? I'm like Shane, if it's put in front of me, but I've never
You never bought it.
bought it.
No.
Which is really funny because where we grew up in our Cola area, that's the beer of choice down there.
Bud
Is
Light.
it?
Everybody drinks Bud Light.
I'm more of a Kokanee Gold man myself.
Gross.
OV
Whatever
and
happened to
Lucky.
Kokanee?
Still
And
in the
Kokanee
mountains.
Gold is especially like
It's
it
still
got
in the mountains,
popular
I
there
think.
for a bit, and then it's really not good.
Yeah.
Probably co-op beer now.
Could be. Wade, you want to talk about lights today?
Yeah.
What about?
Well, I think you should have them.
Me too.
You should put the lights on the deck.
Okay.
You know, you get all dressed up, and then go put the jewelry on.
Yeah, put a little sparkle on there.
Put your little watch on.
Yeah. So,
If you had cufflinks, you'd put those on.
do you have cufflinks?
Nope.
I've owned them in the past. I have no idea where they might be anymore.
Hint, hint.
But lighting on your deck. So this is a whole episode about lighting. It lights nice, lights good, lights. Anyway, what we want to talk about today is just kind of talk about the different types of lights, the stuff that's out there, why you might want to do them, where you might want to put them, who should do them, just kind of a topic around lighting, because lighting is really honestly one of the most like underestimated or forgotten features of a deck that you should absolutely do.
Yes.
People who do light, like when people post pictures of their projects, when it's lit up, it's like, damn, that's nice.
Yeah.
Or they post pictures and it's like, that's nice.
But no,
But then,
damn.
then at night, it's like, whatever. So somebody just, one of our customers in Saskatoon just did a Hoft privacy wall around 3 sides of their hot tub. And they put some lights on the Hoft privacy wall, but they also had the lights from the hot tub. And they posted a
Yep.
day picture and a night picture. And the night picture, of course, had the blue glow from the hot tub lights plus lights they put on the thing. It was like, I want to be in that space. I want to go for a dip with that guy because, and whoever else was there, not just that guy, but the space.
I could come with
looked
you, so it'll be
amazing.
3 men in a tub. I don't want to be 2 men in a tub. That's not enough.
yeah.
It doesn't fit.
So, but the space just looked amazing. And if it didn't have any lights, it would look the opposite amazing. It would just be blonde. You wouldn't even want to be out there in your hot tub at night if you didn't have it all lit up like that.
Yeah.
So lights add such a big thing, big ambiance to a space, and it doesn't
Yeah.
have to cost that much to do it.
No, but it can
Like
cost lots
relative.
too.
It can, yeah,
If you
depends
want.
how crazy you want to go with it.
Okay.
But I truly believe that like every deck should have some lighting.
Because you sell it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more profitable.
Yeah. But no, I just think
agree
it adds
too.
a lot to a space. Like
Yeah.
I
Do you have lights on your deck?
I want to put more lights on my deck. All I have on my deck right now.
That was
Listen,
a loaded
Wade,
question.
wait until I'm done. Wait until I'm done my deck in 2023.
Oh,
by then it will have lights on it. No, but I added. So I've got that little trellis swing set hammock hold thing on my deck.
The Toya Grid that has turned into a play park.
Right, and it has no Toya Grid components anymore at all because they broke.
You broke them?
We used them as a swing set. Not recommended as a swing set.
By Toya Grid or by you? By the Shane Chapman.
I don't imagine they're recommending it either, but I would also back that statement up and be like, then the welds aren't really meant to be like swinging back and forth on. But the Titan post bases are.
Okay.
So I did add those starlights. And now I actually like going to my back window and looking out my backyard, even if I'm not out there, just looking out there because it just looks freaking sweet now.
Would you just look at it? You got me over here looking at it. Look at this. Look at that. Look at it.
Now those lights are solar that I used, but more commonly,
Blah.
people are using low voltage lighting for a variety of reasons.
Would you tell me how you feel about solar lights for real?
No,
Okay.
I don't want to tell you that.
Coward.
No, I just
Howard.
so I think the concept of solar lights is fantastic. I love the idea
Exactly.
of not having to wire things up and not having to rely on like having a ugly transformer somewhere or like having to plug into your only outlet outside. I like all those concepts.
Why can't we get good solar?
But solar lights, not always, but there's a lot of crap quality solar lights and crap batteries in solar lights. And I think maybe my biggest complaint about them is the size of them.
Yeah, they
Because
have
they
to
all
be
have,
so
like, an
big to like make
Integrated
enough.
panel in it, right?
Yeah, they got to make enough power to actually charge the battery.
Yeah.
So then they have to have this giant surface on it.
and I don't like it. Like, so right now because I said the word lights today or something like that, I'm getting a lot of like Facebook ads now for these lights that look like half golf balls. They're huge.
Oh, great.
And they have like a solar panel on top and then a big half circle bottom thing with like divots in it, like a golf ball. And then it like shines weird and like damn, what do you call those?
Disco ball.
Disco ball.
Yeah.
They're terrible. But they're massive because of the solar panel on top. And I personally think the smaller the fixture, it needs to be proportionate, but I want the fixture to be the light, not the light and then a bunch of gadgetry that makes the light work.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So that's why you like those starlights.
Well, the starlights are okay because they're also bigger
Pretty
too.
low profile though.
They're
Like,
a low profile solar light. The top of them, like the panel, is fairly like unobtrusive. It's not a big gaudy thing.
Yeah.
And the holder for the light is like, it's, the ratio of the panel to the light is proportionate on those at least.
correct.
It's not like 50% panel and then 50% light or something.
No,
Anyway.
that would be proportionate, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be
50-50?
50-50?
Yeah, proportionate to each other. But I'm saying that the
What you're looking for is 75%
I don't
light,
think proportionate
25% panel.
needs to mean it's like half and half. Like your head can be proportionate with your body without it being 50% the
not
size
half
of your
my
body. Right?
Right.
No, that's like your guys' head. I put the headsets on. You guys both have
You just have a tiny head.
50% of your body is your head.
Yeah. So anyway, solar versus low voltage. I still believe that low voltage is the way to go. It is infinitely more reliable. There's no maintenance with batteries on them. They're more slim and like sleek. And they're like, it comes down to reliability. They're not as easy to install because you have to run a little bit of wire. But with certain brands, like with Inlight's brand and their quick connects, they're not hard to install. There's a little bit more drilling because you do have to run the cable.
Yeah.
But like, that's it.
I'm frustrated with solar because I believe that it should work. It should be better. It should work. And so my frustration is that I want it to work. I want solar to be the answer because so many people build the deck and then think later, you know what? Let's plop some lights on. And it's so much easier to plop a solar light onto the top of your post or on the riser of your stairs, because you don't have to get in under the deck and do all of the wiring and the maintenance of doing that, connecting it all. And that is a lot harder to do retroactively. It can be done, but it's harder to do, right? And so solar, like for us in Saskatchewan, we have so many days that are sunny. Like even in the wintertime, it's sunny here, right?
Yeah.
Not for long, but it is. And I just feel like solar is really missing the mark on this one. Their panels have to be good enough at capturing sun rays, like
So the other issue I've only got the two lights in my yard, but for I'm sure a variety of reasons, whether it's the angle of the sun because they're in two different spots, or if it's that the battery just is a little bit older in this one than this one, they don't come on and go off at the same time. Like they're more finicky, right? So it's like this one will come on and the other one's off, and then it eventually comes on, but then in the middle of the night it'll go off for some reason because the battery's low, and it's more finicky. It's not as reliable,
right?
And so I would like all the lights to go on at the same time, obviously.
Is there no like hybrid version of the two?
So that's where I was going to go with this, because we kind of mentioned this earlier.
Because that seems like the solution, even though you still have all the wires.
I would like to see something from like an Inlight or something that has like a big transformer to begin with. Throw a battery in that transformer. Still use a transformer. Throw a battery in it and have a solar panel that just works, that you can mount somewhere else.
Like a satellite dish.
Basically.
Yeah.
Have that collect, charge the big, like high capacity battery in the transformer that then powers all of your lights. And we're like, how feasible is that? It's like, and your point was like, I don't know, Tesla drives cars 600 miles off a battery. How can we not power some low voltage lights off a battery?
Well, Tesla has house batteries now.
Yeah.
Right.
The charge, and they'll last for like years on charge.
Yeah, exactly. So there's I'm sure it would be expensive. Maybe that's why they're not doing it. Who knows why they're not doing it? But that would be a good solution. If you could power all the lights, but off a single source of battery and a single panel so that they all charge and consistently come on and whatever, there's not a bunch of different batteries you have to replace or whatever. Like that to me sounds like a pretty good system.
Seems like that would be a good idea, but I just don't know. As a consumer purchasing that system, I would just not buy the battery part. Because you have to buy the transformer part. Then you would have to buy the battery part separately. because you're not going to sell that, like if you're InLight, you're not going to say the only way to purchase this system is this. What you would sell is, here's the transformer. And then if you want, you can buy the solar pack, which you would then plug in, and then it would go to the house. You know what I mean? And so I just feel like you sort of price yourself out of the game.
Or
at
you
that
just
point.
have two different
You have a solar
transformers.
system.
You have a solar transformer with a battery, or you have the AC
Yeah.
system. Could work something like that. So, InLight, if you're listening, make it happen. This podcast is the source of all things great.
Okay.
So I think it's pretty clear that we seem to be low voltage fans, not because we think it's like the most desirable way to do lights, but because it's the most reliable and high quality way to do lights, because solar is just not there.
Yeah. And
Has too many hiccups.
so I also tell customers all the time that solar has a similar price point as low voltage. And so you're going to pay the same amount of money approximately for the lights. And it's like, well, this one has a 5-year warranty, and this one is like you walk it out of the door and the warranty's over.
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously different qualities too. You could find cheaper solar, but cheap solar is the problem. The reason solar gets a bad name is because of cheap solar crap that doesn't work right.
Yeah.
Which then tarnishes the good quality solar stuff. But
Yeah.
So let's get into a little bit about where you might want to put lights in your deck, because the most obvious spot that people think right away is stairs. I'm going to put some of my stairs, or maybe post cap lights on the railing. Those are kind of the two most common things because that's what's most readily available. A lot of railing manufacturers make a post cap light like Trex or Trex.
So much tracks.
But no, there's a lot out there. Right? Fortress makes post cap light. Trex does. There's some like off-brand ones like Classy caps that'll fit a variety of different size post caps or whatever else. Like that's a pretty common way to add light to your deck. And then the other one being stairs. But you're not limited to just that,
No.
right?
Yeah. You can put it anywhere, really. You
So-
put them in the deck.
We're a big fan of integrated like railing lights from like Regal. Does like LED strip lights in their top rail, which gives a really cool effect. It kind of glows the whole deck. It's not just a single source. It's like a strip lighting all around the rail that glows everything, the glass or the pickets and the deck surface and everything else. Kind of a cool look. And you can get really kind of creative with using different types of textured glass and whatever to give it even
Yes.
cooler effects if you want, if you really want to kind of dig down into it. But there's also the other options of kind of becoming more popular is that bohemian look of like hanging incandescent bulb style, like burning the midnight oil type lights. That's become very, very popular.
Patio lanterns.
Yeah. Kim
Them
Mitchell.
patio lanterns. They're the stars in the night, those things. And so those have become very popular right now because you can pick those up at anywhere, Costco, for not much money, and they give a nice vibe out in your deck as well, especially if you do have a pergola or some aerial structures you can tie them to. What else?
I don't know. I was just going to see how long you could go.
I was waiting for you to step in. I was like, this is your damn topic.
I just was like,
Jump
I
in here
wondered
at
if
some
you were
point.
ever going to take a breath. I was like, holy shit.
No,
This is
because
amazing.
I'm way more afraid of dead air than you are.
He
That
must
much
have,
was
like-
evident last week. It's like, you're just cool with like reading things and not talking. And I was like, no,
Yeah.
gotta fill all the space.
So I don't know that I would say that I am a fan of the integrated lights in the railing. When you talk about Regal rail lights,
Yeah.
I think that works because it's available and it's better than nothing.
Okay.
I am a fan of lights on the stairs, whether it's on the tread or on the riser.
That's the obvious one. Yep.
And I also like uplighting. And so if you want to light from the yard onto the deck, or if you want to light, like uplight against a pergola post or, from the deck surface up, I think those are really good. I like the hanging lights too, because it sets that room, but it looks cheap when you look at it, right? I'm just like, meh.
If not done properly, yeah. If
Looks
it looks
a
like
little
it was
bit
kind of an
hokey.
afterthought and you just kind of string them up, then that looks kind of crappy. But I've seen some where it can look good too.
It's super functional, right? It creates that whole space. Is awesome.
Do you guys remember, were you ever camping when you were younger and they used, like every camper used to have those little like those little patio lantern lights that were like green, red, yellow, blue, whatever.
That was how
everybody
Paper
had
lanterns.
them.
in our,
those need to come back.
Yeah.
They were all plastic, right? So in our cabin, we had a cabin, and that was how the path was lit to the outhouse. Those
Ugly patio lanterns.
they were like strung up in the trees.
Those are fantastic. But anyways, to your point, like, oh, maybe you didn't make this point yet. I thought you were going there.
I could,
maybe we
though.
stopped early.
You just give me a little nod and let me know what it is. I'll
But
make
you
the
don't
point.
have to pick one. It's actually far more
Awe-inspiring.
awe-inspiring
You're welcome.
to do a variety of lights in your deck. Like, do the stairs and have some post caps and have some uplighting underneath your pergola and light your plants and light that accent that you put on your privacy wall. Like, light that.
Yeah.
Like, all those features that you invested the money in to enjoy on your deck, highlight those at night by lighting them up, and it gives an even cooler effect at night.
Yeah, where some people are missing the mark is that the post caps. So Fortress has a system that's doing post caps. I believe that Regal should get their poop in a group and do that. I don't understand why they haven't done this.
I don't know either, because it could so simply tie into their strip lighting too, if you wanted to, right? Like the connections are there.
It's a why. You just like come off that light and do a little Y connection and boom, away you go. If I was able to make any decisions in Regal, that would be one that I'd be standing on a soapbox all day, every day.
Yeah.
Light those post caps.
Why?
Light them post caps.
Silly.
So other things you can do, it's pretty common nowadays with composite decks to...
You know what I just thought of?
Nope.
You're welcome. So Trex just came out with a pot light.
Yes, they did.
Did you see those?
Yep.
I shipped them back to Rob. He forgot them here when he was here. But yeah, so again, to the nod of integrating with the system you already have. So they already have all of their Trex rail lights.
Yep.
And so now they've done pot lights that you can just plug into your railing.
Right. Yeah.
So you're running the railing around the top of your 2-story deck or your second level deck.
Yep.
And then you have to light the under area and dunk, 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 it all plugs in. Not rocket science.
Nope. It's lighting.
No, it's just thinking a different way. It's thinking from a system way, right? Like to think like this should all work together,
Yeah.
as you should think that way. Other people light landscaping. Like, this isn't a deck only thing, obviously. Some of the coolest lighting you can do is on your trees or your shrubs or whatever out in the yard. Your
Down
flower
a
beds.
walkway or a pathway.
Absolutely,
Light
the
the
pathway.
front of your deck, because everybody has like flower beds on the front of the deck, right? Put like some lights on your fascia and shine it out in the yard.
Yeah. Yeah, your whole yard can get lit up. And if you use a system like InLight, they make it all, like deck lights, landscape lights, all sorts of lights that can all tie into a single transformer and power your entire yard off one thing. It doesn't have to be two different systems.
Yeah.
So that's really good too. What was I trying to think of there before? There was a thing.
How much you were going to charge InLight for this podcast?
Nope, but we should get to that. Shoot, it's gone. But anyway, why? So why do we talked about this quite a bit already about the feel it gives you, but obviously there's a safety aspect to lighting as well, especially on the stairs. That's probably the primary reason to do it on the stairs.
Yep. Safety.
So you can see where you're stepping and see where the edges are. We often have this too, where people are concerned they have a split level deck and they aren't
just
doing
like
railing because it's one step down from tier to tier.
And that stuff is dangerous.
And there's often like, I'm considering putting railing there because I don't want people to just like kind of miss that step. And it's like, how do I do that without doing railing? Lighting is the perfect way to do it.
Yeah. You know what's cheaper is a camera. Don't put railing there. Just put a camera on your house and let the people miss the step. You'll be famous.
America's Funniest Home Videos.
You'll be famous in no time.
You can make money off that. But it's cool ways to use like a flush mount light around the edges where there is an elevation change or something so that people visually can see that there's a change there if it is dark in the backyard.
And it doesn't even have to be dark, just that awkward dusk time, right?
Oh, I hate that awkward dusk time.
It's the worst. You can't see anything. That's how you hit deer when you're driving.
Fair enough.
Or kangaroos.
So, and you mentioned too that like around this time of year, as you get into fall, the temperatures are still just fine to be out on your deck at night.
Yeah, it's like
But
32.
Your sun's going down at 7:30, 8 o'clock, maybe, and by adding some lighting, you can extend the use of your deck outside.
Just getting ready for dinner.
Right.
You eat at a different time than I do, probably, right?
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
But it allows you to extend the use.
6 o'clock.
Time usage.
You have kids.
When do you eat?
7 or 8.
Yeah.
That's late. Holy smokes, that's late. I'm having a snack by then.
Yeah.
Dinner too.
Yeah. Wait, when do you have your round 2 then?
right after round 1. I start eating at 7 or 8 and
Don't
then
want to
just
fall down that sewer.
and then I just keep eating until sleep time.
Yeah. So 3 main reasons: safety, obviously, creating that ambiance, like just a more enjoyable space. That's the biggest one to me personally. Like that's why I put lights on my deck. It's not so I can see the stairs. I know the stairs are there. I'll figure it out.
Because you're young and hip still. You don't have to worry about that.
And extend the usable, like
So
the amount of usable time on your deck in a day.
mine would be the extendable, like it would add some duration, some length, some more usability to the deck.
Because it is for sure not the same thing to turn your porch light on. I actually hate turning the porch light on my deck. I don't know why that is.
Because it's 100-watt clear bulb.
And it's just like blindingly up there, and it just attracts bugs like crazy because it is super, super bright.
Yeah.
It's not the same as just putting accent lighting throughout your deck.
Yeah.
And it's not featuring anything. It's featuring the siding in your door. It doesn't
You
like
need
If you got a nice door.
You need a better door.
yeah. Spruce up your door and it won't be a problem.
Anyways, I agree. The ambience is nice. Safety, it becomes a lot more practical as people age, right? So if you have aging in place parents or whatever, then I think it's probably fairly important to look at that stuff.
But if we do start getting out into like off the deck and into the landscaping, the safety thing can play a lot more there too. If you've got a path or something where there's a bit of a curb to it or a step off to a garden, if you can put like those little inlight, I like those little inlight puck lights.
Yes.
Along it, this sounds sponsored. It's not sponsored. We would tell you up front it was, but like these are the lights we sell the most of, so we're most familiar with them. But those on the edge of the path can show you where the edges of the path are, especially if and when it is winter out and there's some snow on the ground, whatever, and those lights can kind of cast a glow where the edge of the thing is.
Yeah.
So there can be safety reasons, or the driveways, like knowing where the edge of the driveway is, whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways that can add safety as well.
One of the things that people talk about doing when they're discussing putting lights on the stairs is they often ask me, well, that seems like it's kind of expensive. Can I do every other stair? And I usually recommend against that. I think it creates some awkward shadows, and then all of a sudden you start missing stairs.
Well, it's not, then you're kind of foregoing the safety aspect of it. It's like,
So like either commit or don't commit.
Yeah. Or just do a different type of light, then maybe put a light on, like a wedge light or something on the post that shines and lights up all the stairs, and on the railing that shines down at the stairs instead of lighting up each stair or something. I do think it's a little bit hokey too to skip a step. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Who is kind of another thing we're going to touch on. Who should do lights on their deck? I think everybody should do lights on their deck. It can make any average ho-hum deck go from just being like, blah, it's a little thing to put a couple lawn chairs to being a really nice space.
Bruce is just saying it makes your deck look bigger.
In the Kiwi accent, you have to say it in.
Well, I can't.
You got a huge.
Oh, it makes your dick look bigger. Okay. You never know. Shadows. We often talk to people in the store here, and when the conversation of lights comes up, it's rare that people have already gotten themselves there, that they've already thought, like, they thought through the whole process of the deck and were like, yeah, and we want to do lights for sure. Usually they've stopped. They've usually thought as far as the decking goes, and when they get here, it's like they still have to explore the railing, but they certainly haven't thought about lighting much yet.
I guess I have different customers. All of my customers have thought about lighting, and they want pimp and rail, and they want pimp and decks, and they want like cable, and they light the whole thing up and then put the pergola on, and then you send them the $28,000 estimate, and they're like, oh.
First thing to go is the lights.
First thing to go is the lights.
Yeah.
And I then try to talk people to change the board. Keep the lights.
Mm-hmm. Right.
What were you going to say?
I was just going to say that for you, because I know that's your biggest point, but it's a great one. Is that like, obviously. So you're buying a deck that's like a $5 a linear foot deck board.
Yep.
And then you forego the lights. Your space will be much more enjoyable if you go to the $4 linear foot deck board and keep the lights in there.
Yeah.
For yourself and the other person, because you're going to be happy with the decking you end up with once you leave the store, whether it's a $4 board or a $5 board. Regardless, you're going to lose the wow factor of that. It's like, you're not in the store comparing them side by side anymore. But the lighting lasts forever. You're going to enjoy that all the time. Right. The $4 board, the $5 board, they're both maintenance free. They both look good. They both have good color options, whatever. There may be some minor differences with traction or durability or something maybe, but the difference in what you're getting from 4 to 5 is much less than no lights to lights.
You're not going to be able to see the $5 board.
Right?
And even if you could see the $5 board, nobody's going to know that it's a $5 board except you. There isn't a single friend or family member that's going to walk over, come onto the deck, and unless they've recently purchased a deck, but if they haven't recently purchased a deck, they don't have a clue. Nobody has a hot clue how much you spent on your deck. So put lights on it.
Yep.
Because
Nobody's coming over
going to
and be
awe
like,
everybody.
oh, that is some nice composite there. You must have spent a little bit more than I did on mine because this is
at least $5.
20% nicer than my composite deck is.
Nope. What happens is, composite. I did composite.
Yeah.
Where'd you get yours? Got mine at Home Depot. Oh yeah. Where'd you get yours? Mine at the deck shop. Okay.
How much was yours?
It must have cost you
$1.50. Whoa.
Yeah.
How much is yours? $5. Oh, mine was only $1.50. It's like,
Right?
not the same thing.
Yeah, so go cheaper, and you can be the cheapest.
Not like Home Depot cheap.
No.
There's a line we don't want to cross. But the point is yes, lighting is probably the most, it's obviously an optional thing on your deck. It's easy to cut it right away because it's not a necessity.
It's like people that cut marketing dollars.
That's how you know somebody's going out of business.
Yeah. It's like
First thing they cut's the advertising, and it's like, well, you've just
kneecapped yourself.
cut the head off the snake, and it's going to wither off and die now.
Yeah.
Let the dogs eat.
Try and run that race.
TS Hockey Training in the live chat wants to know how he gets a sweet hat. I knew this was going to happen once we set this sweet little, look at this little wall we got set up back here. Sweet.
Did
you
they
stop
buy it?
in here. Yeah, you
Buy
got
anything?
you got to spend $4,500 and then you get a hat. No, just stop by someday. Come say hi. Got a hat for you.
Boy, I had something really good around that
We're both on fire today.
lighting topic.
I would hope so. That's what the whole podcast has been. On the idea of spending money on the lighting and not scrapping it in favor of more expensive deck boards.
It's gonzo. It'll never come back. It must have been a lie.
Would you get rid of other features instead of lighting?
Well, like what?
I don't know. Would you get rid of a nice inlay, for example?
Yep, I would.
100%.
I would. Yeah. Unless the inlay is providing a functional purpose for it. But if you're talking about you did a diamond pattern in the middle of the deck, because that's only cool for the first week. It's that's really cool you did that. And then it's not cool anymore. It doesn't do anything for you. It's after you get used to it, it's just there and you put your table over top, you don't see it again anyway. So would I spend lighting before I would spend money on just a decorative inlay or even a curved deck if it didn't absolutely have to be done because of the shape of the yard or something like that? Yeah, I would forego that and do the lights for sure. Again, the curve is it's neat, but it functionally doesn't do anything in most cases.
Right.
Yeah. Lighting is the thing.
You should be thinking about lighting right after the color of your deck board.
Oh, you nailed it. You did such a really good job. You brought it back. See, I lost it, and then you talked.
He's going to lose it again.
Yep. You should say it.
Nobody
Say it aloud quick.
Nobody plans lighting, and you and I, with our sales team, we're guilty of this. We think about the lighting too late in the process of selling the deck. And it's we sell the lumber and we sell the framing and we talk about where they're doing 12-inch on center. We talk about all this stuff. And then we hammer down on these people for an hour about all of the details of the deck and a picket railing and glass railing and G-tape and Protect-A-Cut and proper hanger fat. And then it's okay, now that we've upsold you every single thing that you can be upsold, would you now like to be upsold on the lighting? And I wonder if we changed our sales tactic a little bit, being not, would you like to add lighting? But more okay, this is the deck board. Sweet. You should go with a warm light. What? You should be using warm lighting with that board and talking about adding, changing how we sell that.
This is why this guy wins sales person of the month.
Exactly.
Month. Anyways.
Other reasons too, but
because I'm on the floor.
and you pick, right?
Yeah. And he's the one that he's the only one ever
Wade
nominated.
wins again.
Yeah. Yes, I am guilty for sure of treating the lighting as an afterthought myself and even bringing it up to the customer with my tail between my legs a little bit.
Yeah,
being
you're hesitant.
I don't want to sound like I'm upselling you. It's kind of did you want to do lighting?
That's how I sell it.
And it's like, it's a complete lack of confidence. And then we're like, yeah, I do. It's like, oh, okay, good.
Really? Do you know how much it costs? No, I don't have a clue. Huh? Yeah, it's a lot. It costs a lot to put lighting on your deck.
You should probably not buy it.
But anyways, I'll go through the song and dance of telling you the numbers. I know you're going to cut it anyways. Everybody cuts it.
Yeah. So, we got to restart this little Instagram here. So, yeah, I always think that you should try to make room to keep the lighting in because it's one of the coolest features of a deck.
Should you do like think about lighting before railing?
Nope.
No.
Well, by code, you have to have rail.
So railing is a necessity in many cases. You have to have it.
But if you're going to sell it, you should probably talk about lighting before you talk about railing.
I would maybe to the same point as the to the same point as the deck board, I would maybe choose a railing that costs a little bit less versus one that costs a little bit more and add the lights again. Like same thing. It's like, is this railing nicer than this one? Yeah, it is, but it's $5 more linear foot. Okay. Like I would go as far as to say like skip the upgrade from picket to glass and do pickets and lights instead. Because again, it's gonna be way cooler unless you have a good reason to have glass because
I'm on the lake.
Whatever. You're trying to preserve a view, and that's the most important
you
thing.
Like watching birds hit your deck.
You like to lay down and look through your rail.
Yeah. But I would like,
obviously,
for the most part, same answer to that. But if we're talking about features like privacy walls, like no, if you need privacy, then do the privacy. But then you've got this wicked opportunity to light that privacy wall and do stuff on it, right? Whether it's planters or decorative or something other, and then light those things, and then that looks wicked.
You don't have to light your whole deck.
No.
Just light the parts you like.
Exactly.
Not every other stair, though.
Except, what if you only like every other stair?
If you're lighting the stairs, light all of the stairs. So let's do this. Let's change how we do this every time.
Here we are right now. Are we making a permanent change to our sales process? Start treating the lighting in the sales process with as much emphasis as we're treating it right now.
Yeah. I was just going to say, let's change where we talk about lighting.
Okay.
Let's put it on number 2 instead of number 1 or number 10. Like deck board and then.
No, you got it. Steel framing, deck board.
Yeah. I think we should do that. And I think it just like, what color of lighting are you doing with that? You know how when you ask for people's email address, you just don't stop. You're like, what's your email address?
Yeah.
And I do that differently. I'm more like, do you want to give me the email address? Like now I've changed how I ask for that. I just ask. I just
for it with authority.
Yeah. I need it to continue on. You need to give this to me so that I can keep going. So we'll do that with the lighting from now on.
Final point, a lot of people don't know is that we get this question quite a bit in the stores. Like, because some people don't want to spend the money on the lighting now, but they want the option potentially. It's like, can I add it later? So can you retrofit lighting?
No.
In many cases, yes.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Depending on the height of your deck. So if you're going to do a low voltage system where you need to run cabling for it, well, you need access underneath the deck to be able to run and tie those cables up. So if your deck is ground level and you don't have the ability to get underneath later, you kind of got to do it now, or at least run the cable and have it ready and future proof.
Yeah, it's certainly easier to do it during the build.
Yeah, rather than fighting with it later. So, but if it's up off the ground, you have access underneath and behind the stairs and everything, it's just as easy to do it in a couple of years when you can afford it than it is to do it at the time of build for the most part. Like it's not that hard to retrofit that in.
Yeah.
Things like the Regal LED strip lighting, is that possible later? Possible, yes. Fairly easy with the glass. That pops in and out pretty easy. The pickets are tougher because they snap and lock into place. They can come out, but it's a lot more of a struggle to take it apart. So it's way easier to do at the time of the install.
It has
but it's possible.
Yeah,
later.
it has like a little feed, a chase that you can run the light in, but it's not like everybody's fed light through a, wire through a cable or everybody has fed wire through a chase. And it's just like, it never goes as good as you think it will. It's like, oh yeah, the holes are drilled and you could do that, but it doesn't work perfectly.
Yeah. But moral of the story is, in most cases, you can add lighting later. And even if you can't, that's where solar sometimes does come in and be like, okay, well, you know what? The low voltage isn't an option. I can't really get cables run anywhere. I don't have an outlet on the outside of my house. I don't want to pay an electrician to put one there. Then solar has its place. You can add that later.
Yeah.
Easy enough, right?
And maybe by then solar will be viable.
Right.
It's not yet.
There's got to be good. If there's a vendor out there that sells high quality solar lights with like a good track record and a good warranty on them, reach out to us because I'd like to hear
They're
from you.
probably listening. They haven't reached out yet. They were just waiting for the invite.
They might have been. Yeah.
This is the first time you guys have really talked about lighting for 45 minutes.
Yeah. So, moral of the story, Wade, what do you got?
Put the lights on your deck.
Okay.
No, that's it. I think when people come over and you've built a new deck, they don't really care too much about the deck boards you picked at the end of the day.
Yep.
They're not like, holy snap,
Yeah.
that's the most amazing deck board I've ever seen. And this goes for Crystal Rail. Think about how much people talk about Crystal Rail on the gram. It's just topless glass,
But it's the lighting that makes it go
but it
wow.
lights itself.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the wow factor.
And so like everybody has been doing topless glass for like it's been around forever.
Yeah. But you put some lights in it and it wins best of show at IBS.
It
It's
wasn't.
that cool.
Yeah. Yep.
I just thought of another thing like here. We just talked about camping and those old school patio lights. But it's when people go camping now, they're hanging lights outside off their awning.
Yes.
In the trees. They know already, people that camp and spend time outdoors, that lighting just makes the place so much more inviting at night. The reason you like the fire half the time is because of the glow that the fire
I'll
gives
be
off.
able to go out in my yard. Like I'll be able to stay in the campground until 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. So it's no different in your backyard.
Yep.
Light it up. It's going to feel way more fun and enjoyable to be out there. It's
Yeah.
going to be way more fun. Like you might not be going for peas in the bushes in your backyard, but you could now. Mm-hmm. So,
Speak for yourself.
and like the type of lighting we haven't talked about, which I just referenced, was the fire. The idea of putting a natural gas fireplace in your yard too. I mean, that's a source of light as well at night. When you got that little fire flame, it doesn't have to be a big fire, just a little flicker of a little flame from a natural gas or propane fire pit.
Just
so
you can
so
see
good.
it cross the deck at the other person's face.
Yeah.
Right. So you're visiting with them and you want to be able to, you want to see who you're talking to.
Yeah. And it doesn't even have to be a composite deck. Wood decks could benefit from lighting too.
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
Absolutely.
Bryce usually doesn't have very good ideas.
I
hey?
know.
Killed it on
That's
that
why we
one,
didn't
though.
give him a mic for so long.
Now he's good though.
then I was asking questions about questions.
Right. And then I was like, he's ready. He's ready. Joel Harper on the Instagram live here says, never seen a good solar light yet. So, yeah.
I don't.
It's called the sun.
Yeah. Pretty good one. Pretty reliable.
Set your clocks by it.
So, anyway, if you guys have any more questions about lighting and what you can do, I mean, a lot of people listening to this podcast are contractors, and they're probably going through the same process of how do we sell the lights to our customers. And I think that's our biggest piece of advice is like, if they absolutely can't afford to do it, do the switch on the deck board to save some money. Because not only. So why that's good
Change
for
the
contractors
process.
too.
I think change
You
the
need to change the
process
process.
in conversation.
change the process for sure.
Put it sooner.
And show what it's going to do for you. Like show some pictures. Like I said, that picture I posted today with the thing, like the
Picture with the thing. Killed
You
it.
know that thing.
But the picture that drew me to it was the lights on the hot tub. It looked amazing. And I was like, I want that.
Yeah.
Like it looked good in the day too, but it was like the night shot was like, damn. And so include some of those pictures in your portfolio because sometimes people maybe just can't envision it until they see it. And that's not something you can like go outside and be like, here's what it looks like.
Do you remember that customer from
Or the 3D design.
Prince Albert? I drove that deck package up to them. Anyways, they did the hide lights on the stairs, and I use that picture of their deck to sell hide lights every time. We need to get that into just like
Right.
something that everybody can get to.
Yeah.
Because right now it's on my phone,
Winter project.
which is why I'm obviously winning the light sales in the store.
Yeah.
I have the one good picture, but that's it, right? It's a picture that was shot in the fall, kind of in the evening. There's a little bit of sun in the background and their deck is lit up because it has all the stairs are lit up and then the path to the hot tub is lit up and just looks amazing.
But for contractors, the point I was going to make was whether you're installing the $5 board or the $4 board, you're getting paid a square foot price typically to install either one. You're not making any more money there. But if they do the lights, you have another revenue opportunity there installing lights. And I know a lot of guys in a lot of the Facebook forums are like, we make good money on lights. Like you can charge a good premium to put the lights on. And if you have the right system, it's quick and easy to do. So you can make good margins on installing lights as well. Or the customer may choose to install them themselves afterwards too, which is fine too. But
Yeah. Yeah.
anyways.
If you were doing the in-light system that's super fast, you might not even have to charge a good margin. Like, it goes together so fast, it only takes you a couple hours. So charge $100 in labor. Like, you don't have to gouge that. You could become known as the person that sells the most outstanding decks, right? Everybody's like, "Oh, have you get a deck built by Mike on the bike? Like,
Yeah.
guy's got a wicked hole saw." Anyways, you could put them together super fast and they look amazing.
Yep.
Be that guy.
So there it is. Do lights. It's not something you want to skimp on. It's a big wow factor. We're big fans. So
Comes from two people that have no lights on their deck.
I got a little bit of lights on my deck now. Someday I'm
next-
going to put more on though.
My
Your
next one's
kitchen
gonna be
light
able to do that.
doesn't count.
Here, no, but my little starlights and my pergola do count on my trellis.
My
But
next one's going to be
one of the biggest reasons I haven't done my lights yet is because I haven't put my furniture on my deck yet. I haven't even furnished it yet. Once I get the furnishing on there, then I'm going to know what I want for lights. But I absolutely want to put a fire table on there because of like the light, the glow of light from that. And then where I've put my little solar lights, that's the area it's going to be all lit. I don't care about my upper tier as much. It's just like barbecue area, whatever. But stair lights should probably be my feature too. But anyway, it's in the plans. Okay.
okay. He's way better at these controls than I was.
You were horrible.
YouTube us up, the Ultimate Deck Shop. See you next week.
You've been listening to the Ultimate Deck Podcast. Ultimate Deck Podcast. Brought to you by the Ultimate Deck Shop. Shop with us at www.ultimatedeckshop.com or check us out at all the social networks we can keep up with. Hit us up for any collaboration or sponsorship opportunities. Thanks for listening.